How do you say?
Uva.
Uva. Okay.
Yeah, I live in Canada since 2007. I'm a German. I'm very happy that I can part today, and I want to share this very famous song to Mason play. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace my fear relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the how I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, I have already come. This grace hath brought me safe as far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. Even this flesh and heart shall fade, and mortal life shall see. I shall possess within the veil a life, joy, and peace. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
Beautiful song. Next we have from the RCMP, the Superintendent Jennifer Ebert. She was in Regina this morning with us at the press release, and she drove out here to be with the family this evening, and we thank her for that.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here to support Paula and the Bali family. Like Leonard said, we've been together almost all day today. Earlier we had a very official press release and said what needs to be said, and that simply is that regardless of the work that has been done by Missing Children Society of Canada, the investigators, or Mekayla's tenacious mother, Paula, we still don't know where Mekayla is. And so, yeah, it's difficult. And following Amazing Grace is not the easiest thing to do. So Paula honored me by asking me to say a few words tonight. Not supposed to look at Rhonda, she gets to cry. Oh, thanks, Leonard. The reason I wanted to come is I'm a mother of 4. And I truly cannot imagine what this family is going through. So I implore each of you, not from my official capacity, but as a mother, as somebody who has traveled this road with Paula and her family for the past year, please, if you know anything, share that information. If you think we know, we don't. We have gone through countless tips. Paula, Michael, investigators have gone to Vancouver and back and across the country, and we don't know where Mekayla is. We have no idea what happened to her, and that's an incredibly difficult thing to say as a police officer, that we don't know. And so, but somebody does. That's the key here. Somebody knows what happened to Mekayla, whether they were involved or not, whether they helped her thinking that she had a plan and wanted to be somewhere else, whether somebody else who had not good plans, whether that person, they helped that person, or they know, or they've heard a rumor, or they've seen a beautiful blonde girl wearing a teal scarf somewhere that day. After April the 12th on 1:45 p.m. 2016, Mekayla, for all intents and purposes, vanished. We need to move that marker. We need to know, be able to confirm, even if it's something it's as simple as moves that marker to 3 p.m., maybe 4 p.m., maybe the next day, whatever day it is, so that we can move that forward and so that we can find where Mekayla is today. And so that one day, when Eliora asks me, every time I meet her, when is my sister coming home? My answer doesn't have to be, I hope, today.
Now we have a poem by Shelby. Poem is called Missing.
I'm Shelby. Sorry, bit of an emotional wreck right now. I went to school with Mekayla since grade 9. Thank you. And I'm really honored for you guys to ask me to speak at this. It's been a very hard year. Me and Mekayla were really close friends. We used to hang out every lunch. It's really hard, her not being there right now, especially with us graduating this year. It's very difficult for all of us. So the poem's called Missing. Missing, vanished into the space of oblivion, in earth, sea, or sky, who knows? Gone into the wilderness of the unknown, leaving behind mothers, brothers, sisters, aunties, and grandmothers. Bewildered friends, watching, waiting, hearts aching, eyes peering, ears listening, minds hopeful, that the door will open, the vanished will return, like the prodigal son, the mother will say, "Come into my open arms. Oh child, how we missed you so."
Thank you. So next we have Paula. Paula's going to come up and share some words. Paula is, I've known Paula for a year now, and she's one of the strongest women I've met. So, Paula.
Thank you to everyone who is here today. I don't think people understand how much the presence means to us, and how that really helps support us in ways that maybe aren't so tangible, but are very, very important. So I truly thank everyone here today. I'd like to thank everyone who spoke today. Thank you to the mayor, superintendent, I got that correct now. Sergeant Laurent, I don't know if he's still here, but he's been very instrumental in today, and the support of the RCMP members has been important to us. I think that as frustrating as it is sometimes, we continue to be hopeful and work together in positive ways in bringing Mekayla home. I'd like to also thank tonight, we have a committee, there you are, sorry. We have a committee, I call them the committee. They come to my house and we talk about what we're going to do for Mekayla and how tonight was gonna happen, because quite honestly, I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to lay in bed and cry all day. But I realize that tears are a luxury for people, and they're not one I can afford right now. And so for Mekayla's sake, we have to move forward and push ourselves into ways that we don't necessarily feel that comfortable, but it's really important to continue to promote Mekayla's message, and for people to hear and people to understand and people to recognize that Mekayla is a child like all of our children. And I earlier today I delivered a speech and I really talked at length about how Mekayla's everybody's daughter. She's your neighbor, she's your cousin. This isn't a child who is any different than anyone that you would know. And so I think that's what is devastating on one hand, but resonating with people on another hand, is that they get that Mekayla is just, she could be anyone's daughter. And so I think that that is an important thing. And I'd like to thank Shelby too. I know it's difficult, this situation, and I appreciate her sharing her poem, and such wonderful musicians. And for those who know Mekayla know that really is a love of hers, and she's a very musical person, and it's kind of not the cool thing to be musical when you're 16 and play violin, but she loves it, and that's part of her nature, and that's who she is, and she has this natural way of gravitating towards instruments and just learning them. And if you see, there's a picture there, she's sort of picking up the accordion of all things and plays it, and she just has that natural sense. And so today I talked at length about the character of my daughter, and the character of my daughter is not one that would intentionally hurt the people around her who love her. And I think that's what's difficult, to know that your child is somewhere, but perhaps not working under her own will. And that we all know, and we all read media, and we all hear things that occur. And we all hope that's never a child. But one day we have to wake up, as in the case of Mekayla a year ago, and realize dangers may not be that far away. And that the boogeymans in the world might be people we know or have met. And people's intentions in life are not always honorable. And so that is something to come to terms with. We continue to believe that Mekayla is out there somewhere. And I think that's the impetus that moves me forward all the time, is knowing that I don't believe my daughter's deceased. I believe that she's somewhere and that she needs our help. And that is the largest motivating factor you can ever have, is knowing that as a mother, your child isn't safe. And I think that's a vow we make, all of us mothers, is to protect and preserve our children at any cost. And so this past year has been at any cost, and will continue to be until we have answers. I'd also like to thank Leonard, he's not gonna like this, and Victim Services as well, for some work and something that they picked up today. But I'd really like to thank Leonard. I'm sort of the strong lady who doesn't always think that the other gender contributes a lot to our world. I'll be honest. And so Leonard has broken every stereotype I hold. He has been that support when I needed it. Probably that check that said, "Hey Paula, whoa." This horse is galloping, we're out. And so he has been such a support, and I don't say this glibly. I truly don't know how I could have made this year without his support and his care, and what a phenomenal, amazing man. I feel honored just to know him, never mind to be supported by someone as strong, as intelligent, as witty as he is. So he's introduced me to many other people, and I appreciate all of them, his lovely family, and so I feel part of that network. Speaking of gaining additional family when you lose a child, many people, I think Brenda and Eva, wonderful people, sometimes we cross paths with people for odd reasons, and perhaps missing children is a great one. And many people in BC, so I want to say hi, shout out to them who are watching, developed a new family there, and I guess that comes with the amount of time I've spent out there, and the exposure to a new world, which I did not know existed. And sometimes I'm one of those people who wants to look for the positive in a situation. And I really believe that being exposed to a world that I had no idea existed, and some of the good that has come from that is really important to me, and it's some of the things I cling on to. We've become associated with some group called Creep Hunters in BC, and they run a program that supplies items to homeless people. Yorkton, Saskatchewan, I don't know if we have homeless people. I think Bruno is probably our famous one, but you know what? Over the years, it's something you become detached, and we don't get that, because that's a big city problem. That's not something I experience. And through searching for Mekayla in places that you really don't want your child to ever be or end up, or any human being, has led me on a journey of changing, of loving people who I didn't think were so lovable, and recognizing that human beings are so similar. And so some of the people that I've met are absolutely no different than I and than you, but perhaps one wrong choice. And so that's what I'm concerned about Mekayla. Has there been a one wrong choice, or has someone else made one wrong choice that has impacted and affected her life and her outcome? I want Mekayla to have graduated this year. I want Mekayla to have reached some of those milestones, got her driver's license, did all those things that are important rites of passages for 16 and 17-year-old girls. I hold faith that that will happen one day. Perhaps not on the timetable of a type A personality person who thinks things should happen in their allotted time. I think that the message that we want to carry with Mekayla is, don't ever take anything for granted with your children. Second message is, your child may not be a difficult child, your child may not have done anything wrong, but keep tabs on their internet and phone usage. And I think that's the one nagging question in my mind is, did I overlook that? Because I trusted my daughter, a wonderful kid, never disobedient, an amazing, gentle creature. But it's not our children that we always have to beware of. There are others that we may have to be aware of. I talk a lot about our family being fractured. And I feel that. I feel the sense of a family is very broken, and we have struggled to put things together. Mekayla, Elior, and Joshua have struggled immensely, probably more than people realize. And the toll of a missing sibling without any answers is untold, unfathomable. Everything in your world has gone. Any normalcy, any sanity, anything that you assume to be normal in your life is rocked. And so there are people like Leonard and my family, Mary, so many people have come around us. So I think Karen, there's ladies who bring us supper every Friday who continue to support us and love us. And our community has been amazing. And I think the $25,000 reward has been such tangible evidence of that, and so many people here have contributed to that fund. And I am hoping that at some point that may be a factor that someone would come forward with information. I keep thinking that could be a new start for someone. That could be a new start. It could be a new car. It could be a lot of things. And I think that we're hoping that reward would have netted us quicker results, but we're not giving up on that. And I really, truly believe that the more Mekayla's message is spread out to far-ranging places, is the more likely that we will get the information that we're looking for and find out where she is. I really encourage anyone. People don't vanish. People don't disappear. If Mekayla left this town, how did she leave this town? Somebody has to know something. I really want people to come forward. It's not, I think sometimes when authorities are involved, it seems punitive. We don't want that. We just want the information. We want to know where Mekayla is. We want to know that she's safe. And most importantly, as a mother, I want to know that Mekayla's making her own decisions. At this point, my gut tells me that's not the situation. When I think about a year, it's 365 days of utter pain and anguish. And I think back when Mekayla was little and she ran around the corner and I couldn't see her. And my heart did a little flip-flop. And that is the flip-flop we live with every day. Gallons of tears, struggling to make sense of life, but yet knowing there are 2 other children that desperately need us to maintain our composure and to move forward. It's difficult to conceive of a life without someone in it. And until I know what has happened to Mekayla, that won't be acceptable for me. So I will continue to push and probably be a pain for many people. I've referred to myself more recently as a mother bear, and somebody's got my cub. And I'm asking people to come forward with information. I'm not threatening to hunt anyone down, so please come forward to let you know. And let's try and repair this year. And Mekayla deserves a positive, bright future. She's a wonderful person who truly, truly deserves that. And so I would ask for those who have information to please come forward and end this nightmare for us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Canettes were lovely to serve our food. I appreciate them so much. I appreciate coworkers, friends, neighbors. Thank you for coming and supporting us, and thank you, everyone, for your care.
Thanks, Paula. I was with the family for about a week after, or about 3 days after Mekayla went missing, and I remember when I first went to the house, and it was all female except for Joshua, and I asked him right off the start, do you want a female worker? And they said, no, you'll be all right. So I'm still here, and we have a lot of fun together. It's hard times, we have our good days, we have our bad days, but they said after Mekayla gets home, you'll be able to write a book on how to deal with the Redhead Express. I just want to share about the things that have been happening since Paul started looking for Mekayla about a year ago today, and she's went to the different cities and walked the streets where a lot of people don't even want to drive down them streets, and she just goes amongst the people and visits with the people, talks to the people, gives the people a hug when she feels they need a hug. She was even at one place there in the winter there when she went, and a lot of these people didn't have any gloves or mitts, so she went and she couldn't buy all the mitts, but she bought a lot of socks also so they can wear the socks on their hands, and bought the whole store out of the socks, and this is the kind of heart that this family has, and and for Mekayla to be missing that kind of love, she's not out there on her own. If a family loves her this much, she would want to be home with the family, and and not only did she buy socks and that, but because ever since she talks to the young females on the street and that, and because of talking to them and giving them hope, I think 4 or 5 of them were returned home to their families. And then there's even one mother called Paula and thanked her for talking to her daughter on the street, and they were disconnected, and the daughter phoned home and started reconnecting with her mother. So there's a lot of good things happening, even though it's such a hard thing that the family is going through, but yet they're still going out there with their heart and still giving back to society, helping other families that didn't know where their daughters were, and helping the young people on the street realize that their families are there for them, that their families do care for them, and that their families do love them, and that they're needed at home. And so if anybody here knows anything, or know anybody, if you have family any place else in Canada or in the States, give them a call or email or Facebook, whatever you use. Just let them know. Be on the lookout. Mekayla is missing, and there's pictures all over the place, and let's bring Mekayla home. When I first started meeting with Paula and Margaret and Rhonda and Joshua and Elior, I thought maybe it'd be for about a week, then we'd have Mekayla home, but it hasn't been, and it's a year today. And can you imagine waking up every morning wondering if this is the day that she's going to be home, and going to bed scared to go to bed because you don't want to miss the phone call, you don't want to miss the knock on the door, you don't want to miss the post on Facebook that might be her. And this is what this family is living through every day, and being with them, it's so hard at times because you don't have the answer that they want. And I pray that we get that answer, and we can all rejoice together with the family. I don't know Mekayla personally, I've never met her, but yet I love her like she's one of my own, because of the stories they shared with me, and because of the hurts that I see them going through. But like I said before, Paula is one of the strongest women I know, and Margaret and Rhonda, they're the same way, a real close-knit family, there for one another, and we spend a lot of time together, and I appreciate that. They confide in me, and they trust me, and I never want to break that trust. And with that, I just want to thank Paula for asking me to MC, and I'm always there for you. Like I always tell them, my cell phone's always on, but it's still on. So we're going to call up my brother Fred. He's the pastor of our church in town here, and he's going to sing a song. He wrote a song for his daughter, and if my daughter come home, and then he's going to say the closing prayer. So after he says the closing prayer, I guess we're dismissed. I already said my closing comments just now. So again, Fred. Yeah, and then there's coffee and cookies here afterwards. If you want to just sit around and visit one another, you're more than welcome.
Good to see you all here tonight. I remember I was praying for my daughter one time, and she'd been straying away into the party life and kind of life that I didn't want to see my kids get caught up in. And so I was praying, and when I was praying, no? And when I was praying, all of a sudden a word started coming to me. And I began to write them down on my iPhone, or type them down, whatever. But they just kept coming. For about 5 minutes straight, I couldn't quit typing these words. After 5 minutes, I finally felt I wrote the last words. And when I read what I wrote, it was heart-wrenching, but yet I really felt it was a message from God to my heart for my child who was gone astray. And so all of a sudden I began to realize this was meant to be a song. And I went to church the next night, and when I went to church, I put a melody to it. And this was before I knew about Mekayla. But it seemed to fit Mekayla really good, and other young people out there who are missing. As parents, we love our children. We want what's best for them. We do anything for them so that they'll be comfortable. And so I wrote this song and I began to sing it. And I'd like to sing it for you tonight. Guitar too loud? Or?